I have these three old vintage socket chisels that I bought for next to nothing. These two were in really good shape. All I did was take steel wool to all of these. Uh, these two are in really good shape as far as discoloration from rust and stuff like that. I mean, you can look and see. That's finishes. There's some discoloration back here, but you can tell that it's in relatively good shape. They're old. These are old vintage chisels here. They're made in Germany. They're called Fulton. They were, as far as I can find, sold through Sears and Roebuck many years ago. I think they're going to end up being decent chisels. But they're in good shape. The handles look pretty good. The steel's not got a lot of dark discoloration. So these two I'm not really worried too much about. We're not going to focus on them today, but what we are going to focus on is the one that's left. This one here. This is a Stanley Sweetheart. Well, 750. I don't know if it's a Sweetheart or not, but it's a Stanley number 750. Chisel. It's 1/2 inch. You can see it's got a lot of dark discoloration on it, and somebody really did a number trying to grind that. You know, they've got some kind of hollow in it going this way instead of going that way. Along this length, they've got some kind of hollow going that way. So I'll have to put this on the uh, in a jig and restore to the 25-degree. I may even go 20 on this. I'm not sure. But the 25-degree bevel angle that is normally on them. But what I want to do, I clean this up with steel wool like I did the other two chisels. But I want to try to get this black off or reduce it some. Just make the chisel look a little bit better. And the handle is solid. It's not dry rotted or anything like that. So probably what I would, the finish is pretty much gone. So probably what I would do is take the edge of one of those chisels, this edge of the sideland, and just scrape this old stuff off. You can see here, well, I already tested that. Just scrape it off and clean it up and put a finish on it. I'll probably use wipe-on poly. I know a lot of people like the oils and stuff like that. If you do wipe-on poly correctly, there's a technique where you put it on the wood and let it set for 10 minutes or so, and then wipe it down. And what it does is it makes it act a lot like and feel a lot like what an oil finish would be, or there's a varnish finish, a shellac finish that's used on classical guitars, and it feels a lot like that. And that's probably what I will do with this handle. So this is a socket chisel, and you can just smack it like that and take the chisel handle out. But I'm going to leave the handle on there because I think that will be an aid to working the chisel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit different. Normally I would take sandpaper to a chisel like this and progress up in grip. This is a 1000 King Waterstone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to try to clean this up some. And what I might do is if I find that it's not working fast enough, I have a 400 grit diamond hone that I will go to and work it with that first if I have to, particularly the back here. Normally, when I flatten the back on a chisel, I don't concern myself with about probably the first 16th of an inch here, and just continue to flatten that back every time I hone it, so that that stays with the edge. But I'm trying to clean this up, and in process of doing that, it will flatten this back along the whole length. So it might take me some time. This is a water stone, so you do want to keep it wet. Like I said, I've not tried this before, but and you can see the back of this chisel is pretty flat. It's taken. You can also see, I think, where this how far this chisel's tempered to. It may not. It may be tempered closer here, and this black might be covering it up. That might be something else. But a lot of times there'll be a line in the steel for the difference between hardened steel and soft steel. So, but anyway, look at that. That back's pretty flat. I love that. That's really good to see. Beautiful. That's lovely. I like that. That gets me excited. Yeah, I know. I'm weird. That's alright. A beautiful chisel. A beautiful piece of steel that is uh that's that flat, being that old. Dude, that's lovely. Looking good, looking good. Beautiful. This is a Norton 4K. Just want to see what it'll do. There's the surface of this chisel before it. Hold on a minute. Let's try her again. So that's making it way more shiny than I want it. So what I'll probably do is polish it with this a bit, and then I'll come back with some steel wool to kind of dull that finish back down, because what I want to do is I want to get the chisel as clean as I can get it, and then I'll come back down. I'll come back with a steel wool or a lower grit wet dry sandpaper or something to bring me back kind of a matte finish, because that's what I'm looking for. I'm not really looking for this high polish look. Alright, I have gone through this 400, a 1K waterstone, and a 4K waterstone to get to this point. Now you'll see there's some black along here and some black along here. I have spent about 50 minutes doing that. That's a long time. You know, people might be tempted to go to a wire brush, that kind of deal. If you got one and you want to, go ahead. I don't care. I would rather do this and know that I'm maintaining the flatness of these lands than do that. But most guys would use it and they don't have a problem with it. And if that's what you want to use, I don't either. This is just my way. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some sandpaper and I'm going to, in these hollows, because I don't have to grind this absolutely flat. It's not needed. And so there's a lot of work that I'd have to do just to bring that little hollow spot and this small hollow area in line with the rest of the blade. I'm not doing that. So there is a limit even for me. So I'm going to take some like 1,000 grit, 800 grit, 600 grit, whatever it takes to get and put it around a flat block and work that. And I'll be back after that. And here it is. I still need to correct that. That'll be in the honing. But I already have a honing video that I'm going to be posting. So I probably won't show this. But, I mean, what I did was I went back with 220 grit sandpaper and went over the whole thing to take the bright polish off so that it looks like it should, in my opinion. And now I won't show that, but I may come back and show you the finished product. But now I'll take the back of a chisel and scrape that old finish off this handle and clean this up a little bit. Take some sandpaper and smooth it out a bit and finish it, and then I'll hone this chisel up and it'll be ready to go. Here's the finished product. I took the handle, scraped the whole finish off of it, sanded it smooth, took a cloth and put some Minwax wipe-on polyurethane, the gloss type, wiped it on the handle, let the handle set for 10 minutes, came back with a dry, soft cloth and just wiped it smooth so that you get kind of a satin finish instead of a high gloss, and it's nice and smooth. It feels nice and natural. It's not plasticky or anything like that. I think it's a beautiful way to do it, really simply, and I could not ask for a more beautiful chisel than that right there. I put an edge on it. It's sharper than snot. That's it. Thanks for joining me. Bless you. Later.